Hello YouTubers, my name is Shanezzar and this is my very first tutorial which is based on face detection and recognition, and I'll be using Kairos. First of all, I would like to tell you that mostly people get confused within the two things, detection and recognition. So detection is something that you have given a picture in which we detect that there are human and human faces. So that is detection, and recognize is something like to whom that face belongs to. So I have tried different algorithms, APIs. I have tried Vision API along with Core ML. For this certain to get the results, I've used OpenCV, Python-based models, and algorithms like Perpetual. But I have got a max of 70% accuracy in them, um, and along with that, it was not much useful to me as I want to use it in a security system. So then I found out about Kairos. So let's see what is Kairos. Sorry, Kairos. This is the first link. So the homepage says it's a face recognition made easy. Identify demographics, emotion. Let's look to the features of it. Well, it do face detection, find faces of people within a photo, image, or video. It identifies that who is this or to whom this face belongs to, and then the verification part. That, for example, if I'm submitting a picture of a person, for example, let's take this example that it's a picture of Elizabeth. So it verifies that whether she is Elizabeth or not. So it's a face verification feature. Then the emotion detection. It detects whether you are happy, you are angry, you are disgusted, you are sad, you are feared, or whether you are surprised. Then age detection. It recognizes your age, that how old are you. Gender detection, whether you are male or female. Multi-face detection. Well, you can detect faces from a group within a picture or video where there are multiple peoples, more than one people. Attention measurement. Total attention time, glances, blinks, and attention span. It might recognize the number of time you have blinks, or the number of time, for example, you have stared or something like that, in which your attention or other people's attentions are grabbed. Facial features detect eyes. I have tried it before. It also detects the distance between eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, the eyeball, and many more. Sentiment detection. Well, sentiment is usually referred to feelings. It detects whether you are positive or negative, or you have neutral sentiments of faces. Face group, face grouping. It groups faces that makes it easy to search within a specific category. Uh, Ethnicity detection, whether you are Asian or American. Sorry if my English is very wrong. I'm not a native English speaker, but I don't hesitate to speak English. So I have searched for their API for iOS, but I only found a playground, which was not much useful regarding the camera for me, specific or especially for me. So just I made a simple search, Kairos iOS GitHub. So all I found regarding it was this SDK, which was written on the playground. So this is the um, a response from the API, and we are just passing images directly from the resources, and it detects and it prints. So I have taken help from it and made a what we can say, I have placed a camera and I snap a picture, and it gives me data regarding that picture. But before recognizing or detecting, I have enrolled a person regarding an ID and a specific gallery name, which I will be showing you within a while. So I'll be writing this app on iOS with the Swift language, And but first of all, let's get the API key. Mm, you can go to the developer pricing and get your API key. For example, business email, I just put my email, uh, my first name, company is just optional. Yes, I'm a single person and it's a tutorial. Yes, I'm engineering. Uh, for demo, PURPOSES purposes and development. Are you? Yes, I'm a developer, bro. Oops. Disposable email address not supported. Okay, I'll use my very personal email. Um, so I have clicked on the signing up. Yes. Let's just open my mail app. Mm, and I'll just verify my email. Where's the yes, I've got an email for Kairos, and I've signed up. My sign up is complete now. I'll just click on login, and here's my app ID and key. So I've got the app ID and key. Let's just put it in a tab and open a new tab. Now let's start the development within Xcode. So I'll just open my Xcode, create a new Xcode project, single view app, just call it Kairos example. Later I would also be putting it on the GitHub, so you guys can get the code example. So I'll just put it on my desktop. Boom, boom, boom. Kairos. First of all, let's design a screen. Okay, guys, so I made the views. I've designed two screens in which the first is view controller, and I've just put a title label, an ID, a gallery. ID is what a person, for example, my name is Shanezzar, uh, and in the response API, I want to get the ID, specific ID, that is Shanezzar whenever I try to recognize my photo. So it is something which will be returned in the API. And gallery is something like the group in which you want to save the person, or you want to enroll the person. For example, office, I have office gallery in which I have certain employees and I've given them IDs, and the IDs are their name. So whenever I will be recognizing, I'll be recognizing from the office gallery, and it will give me data. It helps in fast searches and to keep the data grouped. And on the other screen, this is my camera controller. Let's make a class for the camera controller. CAMERA, camera controller. I'll be just giving it a class of camera controller. Okay, so this is my camera, uh, and I've placed a close button to get out of this screen. I've placed a text view here, in which I'll be directly printing the response from the API. So let's just clear its text, and so that you can know, I've kept the text until now so that you can know that it's a text view. And then for example, I just want to simply use the front camera. I've put a rotate button, a capture button, and the flash. I want to use the flash, and I'll just place the constraint according to the auto layout, and I'll be giving it an ID camera view. Okay, hope so, that's fine. uh, Now let's come to the coding part. Okay, so I'll be using SwiftJSON along with Alamofire to make requests. So let's just install its pods. I'll be going to desktop. Let's open my terminal. I'll just put cd and drag and drop its pod in it. I'll be initializing the pod. So the pod is initialized. You can open through the command line or just simply going to the project folder and double clicking it. Um, let's get the pods from the internet. Okay, so my internet is back now. We were installing Alamofire along with SwiftJSON. So I'll just Google for Alamofire. And I'll just reopen the pod file. So I'll just simply copy pod Alamofire and SwiftJSON. So I'll be saving the file, and now I'll be installing the pods. Okay, so the pods are installed now. Let's close this file, and I'll be going back to the controllers and the views. So here's my view controller. First of all, I have written the code previously, and in order to save the time, I'll be just now copy pasting and then explaining you the code part by part. Okay, so I have used it previously. These are the two files. One is for the view controller and one is for the camera view controller. So let's just first of all import the Alamofire. First of all, I'll be building this. Oh, sorry. I have to close and then reopen now the workspace file. Let's just build it. Command B. Okay, it has been successfully built. Let's come to this controller and import the Alamofire and SwiftJSON. No, we don't need this did receive memory warning part. So just remove it. I'll be also removing this comment. Okay, so let's come to the coding part now. Um, I'll be copy and pasting one by one so that you guys can understand it. First of all, I have declared two variable app ID and app key, which I have got from the Kairos API, and now I'll be making the outlets and connecting them. Okay, now in this line I have declared a image picker because I have to select a picture in order to enroll, uh, and then recognize myself on the basis of putting. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm just saving my data with my name in the database of Kairos, and it will help me retrieve an identity and recognize myself. And then I have made gallery enroll text field, ID enroll text field, gallery recognize text field, three outlets, and now I'll be connecting them. Simply, you can just hold the control key and just drag it here and make your own outlets, or just like these ones, and then just connect it. And I'll be connecting the gallery one here, and I'll be connecting the gallery recognize text field here. Okay, I have connected the IB outlets with the view controller. Now let's get back to the coding section. Okay, first of all, I'll just copy this and explain you. I am giving the delegate image picker to itself, so that its a source of delegate is itself. Just a moment, within a few moments this error will be removed, these red warnings. It is because I have to uh, make the delegate function extend this class with the image picker controller. So I have made an extension view controller which is of the same name of the class, and I have put a UI image picker controller delegate, UI navigation controller delegate. These two are needed to get the picture, and in it I have made a function which states that function image picker controller. Actually, this function is called as soon as we have finished picking the image from the gallery or the photos. So it gets the picture. And one more important thing, it didn't work when I get the picture in PNG and send it to the Kairos API. It only worked with the JPEG representation of the image. So what we would be doing is we will be converting the image to base64 code and then sending the base64 code to the API. So in this part I have just made converting them to the base64 string, and then I have cast it in the base64 string, encoding allowed character URL query allowed in order, because these two lines are very necessary in order for this API to work. And then I have made an enroll function in which I'm just passing the image string. I'm just reopening it again and again. Let's close this file. So here's the enroll function, which I'll be putting it in here. Okay, so let me explain what the enroll function do. Actually, it takes a variable of type string, which is actually the base64 code which we got from here, converted into a string along with URL query allow characters, some allowed characters. Then we have made a variable name request, which is actually the URL request, in which we have to put the Kairos API, that is HTTPS, which is usually the secure server along with the SSL, and api.kairos.com/enroll. Okay, the method it is using is the post method. So we would be using the post method and sending the raw value, which is the raw JSON. we are setting the header to application type JSON, content type JSON, and we are sending uh, the app ID and app key in the parameters, and the identification or the ID for those parameters are of the same name. I have said I have put the same name. So these are variable. Let's go to jump to their definition. Actually, they are these variable, the API and the app ID and the key which we got from the Kairos after signing up. They have given a developer key in order to test and for the development. So then we make a dictionary of parameters. The dictionary is of type NS mutable dictionary, and we are passing image. We are converting the base64 part of image as string and then passing it. Then we are passing the gallery name. Okay, gallery enroll text field. We are getting the gallery name from the from this text field, which I have explained previously that, for example, we are putting image in a certain folder, for example, like office, and we are searching from them from that folder. It makes the search faster and gives you more accuracy. And then subject ID, the identification which I want whenever the API matches the picture. Then we are just putting the data in a variable named data, and we are just serialization. We are just serializing this dictionary of parameters as raw JSON, and then we are creating a variable JSON string of type NSString data encoding to UTF-8 raw value. Then we are making a request HTTP body JSON which is not null of type data using the same UTF-8 raw value. Then we are making a request with Alarmify Alarmify pods. Sorry, the SDK. I'm sorry if I'm mistaken with the SDK API raw values. If I'm telling them wrong, but as far as I know, I'm telling you. So we are making an Alarmify request, and we are getting a response from this request, which we are saving in the response. So we are checking that if the response is not null, it's just a check. Then we are putting the response into JSON with the help of SwiftJSON. This part is of SwiftJSON, and then we are making an alert along of the data which we receive from the API, and I'm just putting all of the data within the message or within the alert. Here's the alert. Okay, so this was the enrolling part. Now let's put the rest of the code here. Uh, okay, here's the two part of the code. Actually, these two are actions on the choose enroll button and the recognize button action. Okay, so first of all, let's connect them to going to the main storyboard and holding the option key and pressing the view controller of the Swift file of my controller, which is actually the class. Let's connect the choose photo and enroll, and then the recognize button is the recognize button. Okay, I have different names here. Let's just copy it. Okay, we will code them later. I'll explain you. Okay, so let's come to the choose enroll button action part. We are just checking that the gallery enroll field text and the ID is not empty, and if it's not empty, then we are calling the image picker, allow editing, false, source type photo library. We are calling the photo library, and we are just calling the picker, presenting the picker. If these are not empty, the text fields of gallery enroll ID and the gallery enroll and the ID, then this part is called, and or else it will go to the else condition in which says enter all fields. Now let's come to the recognize button action. Here we are just declaring a storyboard, then declaring the controller, which is camera view controller. We have previously put the storyboard ID camera view. Actually, this warning is I have made a variable in the camera controller uh, view controller also. So I'm just passing the data within that. I'm just passing the data uh, to this controller, and I have made a variable named receive gallery name in this class, which I'll be putting within a while. And I'm passing the data of gallery recognized text field text, which is actually the this part. Actually, I'm telling where do you have to search the photos for like for instance the office. Okay, now here we are, and then just we are presenting that controller. Okay, one more thing which were quite annoying for me. I have also extended the UI view controller class. What it do is it just dismiss the keyboard whenever I tap outside of the keyboard or the region outside the keyboard. So it's just a extension of UI view controller in which I've made a function hide keyboard when tapped around. What it do is it is put setting a tap gesture, and it is setting the action to dismiss keyboard. It comes to the this part of the functionality where view dot end editing equal to view dot end editing is true. So I'm just calling it in the view did load to. So I'll just simply write view dot uh, dismiss keyboard. Oh no, sorry, uh, hide keyboard when tapped. Hide keyboard, hide keyboard. Okay, for certain reason it's not popping up because I have not built it yet because of the error, which is actually this line. Let's just comment it for a while and then build it, and then we will have this functionality too. Okay, it is successfully built. Now I'm just uncommenting it. Okay, it's still giving me the error. Let's see where I've done it wrong. Oh, self dot view. Oh, let me check the code. Self dot high key. My bad. Actually, it's referring to the view, which is actually itself. Uh, so it says self dot hide whenever the view is tapped, the main view, it just hides the keyboard. Now let's come to the camera controller. So I have, as I've previously told, that it has a text view, close button, rotate, capture, and flash button. Now let's just come to its code too. Camera, let's just put it within. Okay, what we have to do is to import AV Foundation. We will be using this for camera, and then again Alarmify for making the HTTP request and Swifty JSON to handle the JSON. Now let's just remove this extra part, this line too. Now again we are declaring app ID and app key, and we are making outlets of camera preview and data text view. Um, let's just connect them. Here's my text view, and I just want my camera to be uh, all over the view. So I'm just making the main view as camera. Okay, so now let's come to the coding section again. Okay, I have declared variable capture session. which is actually the AV capture session, video preview layer, photo output, input device, flash, and then just two booleans for using front camera and using flash. Then this is the variable which I was talking about and passing the data from the view controller. So its name is received calorie name. Now we can uncomment this line, so you will see that the error will be gone. It has found the name received calorie name within the camera controller. Let's just jump to its definition. So here we are. Let's go further. Now I'm just starting the camera within as soon as my view is loaded. So that's why I'm putting it in the view did load. I'm just making AV capture device. I'm just requesting the camera, and it will be giving me a response. And then I'm just calling a function cell.load camera. Now I'll also be declaring a load camera function. So here's my load camera function. So here's my load camera function. Now you'll see that this specific error will be gone, but we have others too, which I'll be explaining along as I'm putting the code. Okay, so I have declared a variable is first. Um, Actually, I don't think I needed. I have done it. I was doing a different test. That's why I have declared this variable is first. Okay, so it's called 3 times, so it is necessary. Okay, so I'm just first of all I'm just dispatching dispatch queue global. Actually, it let other processes complete and then performs the data or the action or the part of piece of code in it. It just waits for the other functions to process, and it is done asynchronously. In this part, I'm just checking that if cell.capture session is null or is nil, then is first. Then it is actually the first time. Cell.capture session, capture session, it is the function. Cell.capture session dot session present AV capture session present. Actually, I'm getting it in the high quality. We have also different moods, like you can see that it has the resolution of HD 1920 1080 720. Then we go to the 4K, then high, then we are setting, we also have the option of iframes and other stuff. I'm just putting it high. uh, then I'm declaring a error variable and an input variable, which is actually the capture device input. Now I'm declaring front capture device. I'm using the front camera, or if or I want to call the front camera functionality or get the back camera. Actually, it is a ternary. I've used ternary operators in this part. So we are calling get back camera function, get front camera function. So I've put a do and catch in this part. Input try AV capture device, input device, front capture device, and then I have put the catch code in. If I get an error, I just want to print it in my log. Then I'm making a loop for I capture device input in self.capture.input device as capture device input, self.capture session.remove input I. Okay, so most of the part I have copied from online, but I understand what's it's happening. Actually, this whole part is calling the camera. It is setting the session. It is putting adding the input through the hardware, and it is just giving me this photo output and the photo metadata. And if it is not able to give me the metadata, it just prints error could not add metadata output, and then again a dispatch main async. If it is first video preview layer, it is just I'm just initializing most of the variables I have declared above. I'm just adding preview layer and then some options to it. For example, resize aspect fill. I just want the view of my camera to be aspect fill. We have also resize, expect, and scale to fill, etc. No, sorry, we don't have. We just have resize, expect, and resize, expect, fill. And video orientation, I want it in the portrait mode or landscape, left or right. I just simply want the portrait mode or portrait upside down. We also have the option. Then we are setting the frames, telling the bounds, then we are adding sub layers, and just removing the remove from super layer, camera preview layer, add dot. We are just adding camera preview. We are just putting video preview layer within the camera preview layer, and we are just setting the capture session, and we are just starting the capture session. So we have loaded the camera. Let's also set up the layouts and the front and the back camera. We have set the layout subviews. I'm just calling it, and get front camera. I'm just which we have discussed in the ternary operations. Actually, it gets the front camera and it gets the back camera from its name, as you can see, position dot front, position dot back. Then we have some more functions under load camera. Okay, it is the capture button. Sorry, it is the capture action. Then this part is just calling this function, and it just rotates rotate action. It rotates the camera from going back camera to front, front to back. It is the flash. I'm setting the flash on or off, and this is the close button method in which I'm just dismissing the controller. Let's just connect them to. Let's go from the bottom. Okay, I've opened the wrong controller. So first of all, connecting the close action. I'm just connecting the rotate action. I'm connecting the capture action. I'm connecting the flash action. So my connections are now set up. I'll be telling you. So what the capture method do? Actually, I've declared it an Objective C with Objective C because I've called it in an Objective C way. In this, I'm just setting the AV capture photo settings, and I'm just setting the flash mode equal to flash, which is actually this variable. Let's just guess the variable. Uh, Here we go. This is the AV capture device flash mode. One more thing that it requires this AV foundation method requires iOS version 11. It is not supported below. Now the recognize part, and then we will put the extension to. So what the recognize function is similar to the function of enroll, as in the previous controller. Uh, it also took the base 64 of the image data as a string, converted string, and then just we will make a request on https api.carriers.com/recognize. The first one was enroll, and now it's recognize. We are also sending making a post request and sending the raw value, setting the header application type JSON, and we are setting the app ID and app key, which are these variables. I could have declared a universal and then just use it, but I'm just trying to make it simple. And I'm passing parameters as ns mutable dictionary, the name, basic info, and received gallery name. Actually, it is the gallery name we receive from this text field, and then we are passing the data, uh, serializing it, and then just making a request, getting the response, within the response variable, and we are just checking it's null or not. And whatever the response we get, I'm just setting it to the text of data text view. The text view I have put in front of the camera view. Okay, now the extension part for the camera controller, uh, the photo output delegates. AV capture photo capture delegate. Actually, it captures as you can see in its name. And here's the description of this method: a method for monitoring progress and receiving results from a photo capture output. I'm just calling a photo output function which returns me a photo, simply a photo. I'm getting the image data. I'm converting it to base 64 as I've done it previously in the view controller uh, when picking the image, and I'm passing it to the enroll function here, and within this view controller I'm passing it to the recognize function, so it just recognizes it. One more thing in the info.plist, uh, I want the permission to the gallery and camera, so ns camera usage description and photo gallery. This I don't know, I don't remember exactly the wordings at the moment. That is why I just Google it. So we also need to access the gallery. So I'm also putting it here in the plist of this sample app. Give me the photos, and I want the camera usage description too in order to um, get camera. So I'll be saying give me the camera. Okay, now I'll be just putting the keys here which I got from the API. I'm just copy paste the same thing, then this view controller too. I'll be just building it. Let's see whether it's building successfully or not. Okay, it has built successfully. So I'm just connecting my iPhone. Okay, so it has created my iPhone now. Now let's just build it. Okay, so I'll just open QuickTime so that you guys can have easy access. Let's just open it. Okay, I'm setting the ID. For example, I'm just enrolling myself. My name is Shanezzar and gallery is home because I'm in home now. One more thing, I don't have a picture of myself within my phone. Let's just say now. Okay, now I have a picture of me. So I have chosen a photo. I'm just waiting. So I have got the response. As you can see from I have returned the Kairos API has returned me some JSON in which the face ID transaction, it has given me the eye distance, image ID 1, subject ID, Shanezzar, face ID, blah blah blah, with role, timestamp, top left, X, status, success, height, pinch, top left, Y, gallery name, home, confidence 0.99, yeah 6, and other. I'm Asian 0.30, blah blah blah. No, I don't have glasses. White. I'm 0.0076, blah blah blah, white. And gender is male. Male confidence 0.99, female confidence 0.0001. And it thinks that my age is 28, but actually it's not. Black. I'm 0.08%, blah blah blah. Asthmatic lips, yeah, my lips were together within this picture, and together other things is 0.9, 0.49, blah blah blah. Okay, so I have successfully enrolled. That is why it has returned me uh, a JSON array, and here the status says success. So I'll just put okay, and now for the recognize part, I just set the same name as this gallery part. And what I was talking about, the keyboard dismiss was just clicking the view and the keyboard dismiss. Now I'll just click the recognize button. So here it says give me the camera. Okay, I'm giving you the camera. Let's just, oh, one more thing. I forgot. Just one more thing. I have to place these things, the camera. One more thing. I have connected it wrong. I have to make a new view within this camera and connect it. It is just looking so not so good. So I have made it, and just I'll be setting it to the size of the controller. I'm just setting its constraints to 0, 0, 0, 0. No, I don't want the width to be 0. Adding full constraints, and I'm just putting it, let's see later, and I'm connecting this camera preview layer to this view. Okay, and I'm just also making its background black. Okay, so it looks good now, and just show you the quick time. Okay, it has paired. One application, compile storyboard. Okay, deployment target. No, let's just set the deployment target to 11.0 in both. I don't know why it's giving me such an error. So I think that it is resolved for 11.0, the minimum version, and it is just running. Let's just open my iPhone screen. See, okay, it has successfully run now. Yay! Okay, we have saved it in the home, and remember that it's case sensitive, so home should be of capital, which it should start with a capital alphabet, as I've put it in this gallery. Now let's click the recognize button, and let's rotate the camera. Okay, so I just capture my picture. I think so it's captured now, and it's sending the request. Or maybe no, I just, okay, now it's captured. Now let's see. Let's just rotate it so you can see it clearly. Image, transaction ID, distance, subject ID. So it has finally successfully recognized me. It is returning subject ID Shanezzar, role success, and the most amazing thing is its confidence. That it has now a 0.87% confidence. I've also shake the camera a bit while capturing the picture. Let's just try it again and see the accuracy. Hmm. Okay, so this time it has given me accuracy of 91%. Let's try it in a different shade. So now it is giving me an accuracy of 89, 0.89, and 1 is the maximum. So it has great accuracy, and it recognizes in a very accurate manner. So this was my tutorial. I will also be pushing the code to GitHub. So if you like my video, please like, comment, and if I have helped you in any ways, please do leave a comment and tell me. And if I've said something wrong, please also tell me regarding the technology or the while explaining the code. So this was the end of my tutorial. Hope you like it. Thanks and take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.